for governor.
Now we're filling these fruit and nut cereals with more of your favorite fruits and nuts. 25% more. Filling more clusters of crunchy nuts into clusters. More nut-covered raisins into Raisin Nut Bran. More fruits and nuts into Basic 4. More crunchy almonds or real apples into these oatmeal crisp cereals. Now these favorites are filled with more fruits and nuts. 25% more. Look for these specially marked boxes.
Almost half of all new businesses fail. Those that don't obviously know something about survival, like how to save 30 to 70% on office supplies at OfficeMax.
Save on the Fellows 6-pack Banker's Box, which accommodates letter or legal size. And from Apple, it's the Personal Laser Writer 300 printer for the sharp output you need.
You want to take your business to the max? Take your business to the max. OfficeMax, the office product superstore where savings is the bottom line.
Michael Keaton's bringing up the kids, while Terry Garr's bringing home the bacon in Mr. Mom.
7 p.m. Friday.
The 1993 MTV Live Year in Review. The best music performances of 1993 from the MTV Video Music Awards, Pearl Jam, R.E.M., Sting, and from MTV's Unplugged, Soul Asylum, 10,000 Maniacs, Jodeci, Rod Stewart, plus En Vogue at the MTV Inaugural Ball, and Duran Duran from the MTV Movie Awards. The MTV Live Year in Review, hosted by VJs John Norris and Duff.
7 p.m. on Denver's 2, Thursday.
If you could pay an extra $4.25 to protect your child against mental retardation, would you? Well, that's what it would take to keep a special clinic at Children's Hospital open. The Inherited Metabolic Disorders Center, as it's called, gets 10,000 calls a year and helps 500 families in the Rocky Mountain region. But federal funding is cut, and it'll have to shut down in June if it doesn't get more money. In order to offset that shortfall, clinic operators want to increase the cost of a blood test given to all newborns, which checks for mental disorders. Today, a House committee heard testimony on this plan from people who say they've been helped very much, and their families, by the clinic.
Get this bill passed so that other children in the future can live the normal life that I was able to live.
Correct. Late today, the House committee did unanimously vote to increase the cost of the blood test by $4.25. The measure now goes on to the full House of Representatives. That approval today is certainly good news for people who use the PKU clinic, as it's called. In tonight's cover story, Channel 2's Rebecca Stevens shows us what the center does for its young patients and why it is so critical to their care.
It starts with a simple blood test. Babies less than a day old are tested for metabolic disorders. A handful will be diagnosed with such a disease. For them, there is a clinic at Children's Hospital.
We take care of children and families with phenylketonuria, which is commonly called PKU.
Ross Buchanan's little boy, Luke, has PKU, and he says he's more than happy to pay a few extra dollars to keep the clinic open and to get the help his family needs.
And for me, and I think every newborn parent or new parent in the state of Colorado, that in the vernacular is a no-brainer. It's just an easy decision.
Luke Buchanan's mother explains what PKU patients cannot eat.
They can have no meat, no fish, poultry, no dairy products, no eggs, no beans, no nuts, no peanut butter.
Luke and his caregiver do seem to have a special rapport, but Luke's mom says it's difficult to find people like Denise who are quite that conscientious.
Oh, puppy! Papers, that's right, papers, yeah.
Holland is a busy parent, teaching at CU Denver and taking care of Luke's big sister. But she still must find time to bake Luke's bread. And it's not cheap.
One box of that flour could cost up to $14.
Luke's mom says a loaf of that bread costs $5 to $6 to bake. Every single thing that Luke eats must be weighed, measured, and recorded. And it's not just the cost in dollars and cents. The emotional price is high as well.
And so they have to call and say, Lori, my child's hungry. What do I do?
With 10,000 calls a year, families and doctors are glad this clinic does exist.
Because we want the best for all of our children. Because we want to see them run and play with other children and dance at their high school proms.
Rebecca Stevens, Channel 2 News cover story.
By the way, doctors have the most success treating PKU although the center deals with other metabolic diseases as well.